The American Express Gold Card is one of the best bang for your buck credit cards out there. And if you're either considering signing up or maybe you already have it and you just want to see what benefits are available, well, this video is going to cover all of them. I'm going to break this video up into 3 parts. First, talking about the points you can earn on the card, including 4 times points on dining, 4 times points on shopping up to $25,000 a year, 3 times points on travel, and 1 point on everything else. Next, we'll go into all the non-points benefits that this card provides, including $120 per year in Uber Cash and $120 in dining credits. Lastly, I'll go over some of the downsides with the American Express Gold Card, as well as offer some potential alternatives depending on what's most important for you. So before we actually get into all those different points and benefits, we first need to understand how much this card is going to cost you per year. This card has an annual fee of $250, and you can also get an additional 5 copies of the card for free. The reason we need to call out that $250 fee right away is that's going to act as our baseline for this video, because you only want to sign up for this card if it's going to give you at least $250 worth of benefits, whether that be from points, sign-up bonuses, free upgrades, whatever. So now that we have that baseline, let's get into talking about the American Express Gold Card points. Also, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, it really helps boost this video's engagement, and you can always dislike at the end of the video if you really hate it. So first off, probably the biggest and most important benefit of a card like this are the points. Basically, for every dollar you spend on the Amex Gold Card, you'll get 1 point that can be redeemed for gifts like hotels, gift cards, or even cash. On average, 1 point is worth 2 cents according to the pointsguy.com, which is a good website for determining relative points values between different rewards cards. But that value can actually fluctuate a ton depending on what you actually redeem the points on. So to be conservative for this video, we're going to use 1 cent per point as a valuation for the points on this card. Now, the baseline is to just earn 1 point per dollar spent on this card, but there's certain categories that will pay out way higher than that. You currently earn 4 points on dining, which includes both delivery and takeout. You'll earn 4 points on grocery store shopping, up to $25,000 a year. You'll also earn 3 times points on flights that are either booked directly through the airline or through the Amex travel portal, and you'll earn 1 point on everything else. Now, these categories do tend to change over time, so if you're watching this video significantly after when it was first posted, you may just want to go to their website or click the link in the description to see what their updated numbers are. So just looking at the value of those points alone and comparing it to the yearly fee, if I spent $6,500 a year between dining out, restaurants, and grocery shopping, that would equate to 26,000 points. And if we use a value of 1 cent per point, that's worth $260, which by itself is more than the annual fee on the card. But outside of just earning points on your everyday transactions, the real way to earn a lot of points very quickly is through a welcome bonus. Right now, American Express is offering you 60,000 bonus points when you spend at least $4,000 on your card in the first 6 months of having it, a value of roughly $600. So what does that mean? It means if you were going to spend $4,000 in your budget anyway over the next 6 months, you basically get a free $600 for doing that. What it does not mean is that you should go out and spend more money to try to earn the welcome bonus. I've had friends who signed up for credit cards and then went on a shopping spree just so that they could hit the welcome bonus. The problem is they were going out and spending thousands of dollars in extra spending just to earn $600 in extra points, which obviously wasn't worth it. One good thing to watch out for, though, is even though American Express is offering 60,000 bonus points, occasionally they'll just randomly bump that up to 75,000 points. I don't know when they do this, but while I was prepping this video, I clicked on my referral link just to see what would happen, and it was giving me an offer of 75,000 bonus points for just that day. That would give you a value of $750 instead of $600 with the welcome bonus. So I keep talking about how much these points would be worth by using a valuation of 1 cent each, but that's a pretty big assumption. So let's now look at the various ways that you can redeem points and how much those points are worth depending on where you spend them. So probably the most basic way to spend points is to just get them back as cash in the form of statement credits. When you do this, when you charge items to your card, you can have those points automatically reimburse you for those charges. And that's going to give you a valuation of 0.6 cents per point. If you use them to shop on Amazon via Amex, they'll give you a slightly higher valuation of 0.7 cents per point. You can also redeem the points for gift cards at various different retailers and restaurants, and it's going to vary a little bit depending on which retailer you go to, but on average, you're going to get about 1 cent per point this way. But if your goal is to maximize the value that you get from every single point that you earn, the best way to spend your points is via travel partners. When you earn Amex points, you can then transfer those points to a partner, such as an airline or a hotel. For example, if I were to transfer points to Etihad Airways and then use those points to purchase a flight on American Airlines, I could book a first-class ticket from the US to Europe for 62,500 points. That's a flight that could cost between $4,000 to $7,000 $1,000 if you just purchased it directly, giving those points a valuation of around 11 cents each. I took that specific example from the pointsguy.com. He has some other more detailed examples of how you can maximize your points via travel if you want to check them out. Similarly, if you transfer your points instead to hotel brands, especially if you book a luxury hotel, you can easily earn 2 cents per point this way. So if you travel a lot and you want to spend your points on that, you could easily earn a lot more than the 1 cent per point that you'll get for redeeming them for gift cards. But what if you're not a huge spender or you don't think you're going to earn that many points with the card? Are there other benefits to the Amex Gold Card? Well, thanks for setting up that perfect question. Yes, there are a lot of benefits beyond just points. The most obvious benefits that we need to talk about are the free cash credits that come with the card every year, including $120 in Uber Cash as well as a $120 dining credit. For the $120 in Uber Cash, it works either in actually calling an Uber to take a trip somewhere or in Uber Eats. So I've used this offer before, and basically what happens is your trip shows up on your credit card statement, and then immediately below that, $10 is deducted from the cost of the trip. Now there's a couple of caveats here. One, you need to actually use your Amex Gold Card when making the purchase, otherwise you don't get anything. And two, you need to use your Uber Cash every month. You get $10 per month, and that doesn't carry over to the next month. So if you don't spend it in that month, you lose it. So to figure out how much this benefit's worth, I don't think it's fair to assume that you're going to use 100% of it every single month of the year. So let's just say that 10 months out of the year you use this benefit for a total of $100 saved. We'll subtract that amount from the yearly fee, and as we keep going through the benefits, we'll keep subtracting that amount so we can see if we end up breaking even on this card. Now, related to that benefit, but actually separate, is if you link your American Express account with your Uber account, you'll get a free subscription to Uber Eats Pass. That'll give you $0 delivery fees as well as 5% off any of your orders that are over $15. Now, supposedly this is a value of $120 per year because that's how much it would cost you to pay for Uber Eats Pass by yourself. But personally, I wouldn't be paying for Uber Eats Pass if it didn't come for free with this card. So I'm not going to value this at the full $120. In fact, I probably only get around $10 worth of value out of this perk. So if you're keeping track yourself, you may subtract a different amount, but I'm going to subtract $10 for this benefit. Next is the $120 dining credit. This credit works very similarly to the Uber Cash. It also gives you $10 in a monthly statement credit that can be used on services such as Grubhub, Seamless, the Cheesecake Factory, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, Boxed, and certain Shake Shack locations. This basically has the same drawbacks that the Uber Cash did. You need to spend your $10 every month or you lose it for that month, and you need to make the purchases using your Amex Gold Card. The other thing to note is this does not credit to your account immediately. It could take up to 4 weeks for you to get your reimbursement. For this benefit, I'm going to also give it a value of $100 because you're probably not going to use it every month, but for me personally, I can easily spend $10 a month between these different services. So let's subtract that from the total yearly fee. The next benefit is a hotel credit of $100 on certain services such as dining or spa treatments. In order to get this benefit, however, you need to book through American Express Travel via their hotel collection. This is a pretty restrictive benefit because in general, you can find discounts by either going directly to a hotel's website or by booking through some third-party service that might find you discounts. So because of that, you may end up spending more money just booking through the Amex travel portal than you would actually save by using this benefit. So if you know that you're going to go to a hotel and you're going to use their spa or their dining services, and you're okay with booking through the Amex travel portal instead of going to the website directly, then this could provide some benefit to you. But for me personally, I haven't even been to a hotel in 2021, and the last time I've gone to hotels, I haven't used any of their extra services, so this isn't really giving me any extra value. So I'm not going to subtract anything to the running total for this one. The last two easily quantifiable savings that we have are baggage insurance and rental car insurance. The rental car insurance is actually pretty nice. I've used it before, and it allows you to basically decline the rental insurance when you go to pick up your car, and instead just use the insurance that comes with your credit card. This is a pretty good benefit, but at the same time, most decent credit cards are going to offer this perk. The Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Chase Sapphire Preferred both offer it, as does the Inc. Business Card and the Capital One Spark cards. So if you already have another credit card that covers your rental car insurance, this isn't going to give you any value. But if you do normally have to pay for car rental insurance, this could easily save you $8 to $12 a day. As for the baggage insurance, you can insure up to $1,250 for a carry-on bag, as well as an additional $500 $100 for a checked bag. And this applies for planes, trains, ships, pretty much any mode of long-haul transportation. This could be a good perk if, say, you carry your laptop in your carry-on bag and that somehow gets destroyed during the trip, or if your checked luggage gets destroyed and you have to buy a whole new set of clothes. The real catch here is in order to get this benefit, you have to charge the full fare to your Amex card. Now, I don't know about you, but usually when I'm traveling, I'm using points to actually book the trip, so I wouldn't be charging it to my credit card. That being said, if you pay for the trip using your American Express points, you still get the insurance, but you do not get the insurance if you use those points to transfer to a travel partner. So because it would be pretty rare for you to actually get this insurance paid out, and I personally don't really book travel directly on my credit card, I'm not going to subtract this from the running total. So in addition to those more concrete fees, you also get some other benefits, including access to exclusive events and no foreign transaction fees. These events could range from concerts to exclusive dining experiences. Personally, I've never taken advantage of any of the events that they've sent me. Really, it almost just seems like a marketing effort on behalf of the companies, and I just get a whole bunch of ads in my email talking about different events I could go to. So because of that, I'm not going to subtract any value from the yearly fee for these events. I actually found them so annoying that I just completely blocked them in my email. The other benefit, no foreign transaction fees, is an absolute must if you're going to be traveling internationally and using your card. If you don't have this, you could easily end up spending an extra 3% on every purchase just to cover the foreign transaction fee. Now that being said, while this is a really nice perk, again, it's a pretty common perk and it's not one that you necessarily need to pay for. The Capital One Quicksilver card, the Bank of America travel card, and even the SoFi credit card all offer no foreign transaction fees, and none of those have an annual fee. So because you can get this same perk for free with a different credit card, I'm not going to give it any value and I'm not going to subtract it from the yearly total, even though there is a certain convenience factor just to have it. The last perk are daily deals, where they'll give you some percentage off of shopping at a certain store when you activate the deal. So for example, you might get an email that says you can have 5% off Starbucks today. You just have to click the offer, activate it, and then spend the money at Starbucks that same day. This is kind of a nice perk, especially if you're willing to go through and manually activate all the offers that you'll actually use, but it feels more like a coupon to me than something that necessarily provides direct value, so I'm not going to assign it a value to subtract from the total. So even though our total is not at $0, when you combine this with all the different points that you're going to earn from the credit card, for most people, you're probably going to at least break even when you use this card. If you, for example, qualify for the welcome bonus, or you spend a lot in the high earnings categories like groceries or supermarkets, then this card starts to make a lot of sense. But just because in the examples I walked through, the card ends up making you money, does not mean it's a good choice for everyone. So let's talk about some of the drawbacks to this card. First off, there's a certain danger to using any credit card, especially if you don't pay it off in full every single month. If you carry a balance on your card from month to month rather than paying it off after every payment cycle, you're going to get hit with huge fees and interest rates, which are going to wipe out any benefit that you would get from the perks on the card. This is one of the reasons that credit card companies can offer these crazy high rewards and still make money off the majority of people who use them. But that being said, the Amex Gold Card is actually a little special in this regard, because it's not actually a credit card, it's a charge card. This means that you cannot carry a balance on your card from month to month. You have to pay it off after every statement cycle. It also means that you don't have a set credit limit on your card. You can theoretically spend as much as you want, although if you put $1 million on it, somebody's probably going to call you. But in the same way that some of your other credit cards might have a hard limit that you can't pass, the Amex Gold Card does not have that. That being said, they do let you finance certain expensive items at an APR of between 15% and 23%, but I would never take advantage of that because that's a really high interest rate to be paying. Additionally, because the Amex Gold Card is a charge card and there's no credit limit, it has a much higher bar for actually qualifying for the card than a traditional credit card would. So while a 650 credit score would probably qualify you for most credit cards, with the Amex Gold Card, the average credit score for someone who's approved is actually a little bit above 700. So some people are probably getting approved who have a below 700 rating, and there's probably some people above 700 who are getting declined. They don't really publish a minimum score that you need. I think it probably depends on a couple different factors with your credit report. But for me personally, when I signed up, I had a credit score of 780 and I was able to get the card. Another drawback to using this card is anytime you sign up for another credit card that has a yearly fee, there's a certain opportunity cost for using that card versus another rewards card. For example, I used to use the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card before I switched to the Amex Gold Card. This card has a yearly fee of $550, but it offers 3 times points back on all types of travel, including flights, hotels, and restaurants, and each of those points are valued at 1.5 cents. This means that while the Amex Gold Card is effectively giving me back 4% on restaurants and groceries, the Chase Sapphire Reserve was giving me back 4.5% on all travel. The Chase Sapphire Reserve also matched a lot of the perks that the Amex Gold Card had, including the same insurance and access to events, and it also had a $300 travel credit that you got every year on things like Ubers, flights, and hotels. But because there's so much overlap in the high rewards categories between these two cards, it didn't make sense to hold on to both of them when I can only use one at a time anyway. So if you already have a high rewards card, you're gonna wanna look at the benefits you already have before deciding if you wanna switch to another card. For me personally, I ended up canceling the Chase Sapphire Reserve and fully switching to the Amex Gold Card so I could get all the high points categories on that card. That way, I only had to pay one annual fee. Also, while I was signing up for the Amex Gold Card, I also looked at other options from Amex, including the Amex Platinum Card, which has a yearly fee of $550, but offers 5x points back on flights and hotels. So if I was traveling a lot, the Amex Platinum Card would probably make more sense for me. So ultimately, which card you choose to use will really depend on your own spending habits. But the American Express Gold Card is probably a good option if you spend enough to meet the sign-up bonus, you use the Uber Cash and Grubhub stipend, or you spend enough money in the groceries and dining categories to make up for the cost. What I personally did with this card is I used this card exclusively when I was trying to earn the sign-up bonus, and then once I spent enough to earn that bonus, I started using this only for groceries and dining out, and then I use a different free card that offers 1.5% back on everything else. That other card is the Chase Freedom Unlimited card, which is a free card, it doesn't have any annual fee, and it offers more points back on non-category spending than the American Express. But let me know if you use the Amex Gold Card or if you're thinking about trying it. I'll also include a link in the description of this video if you want to check it out. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.